A Minecraft movie, released on April 4th, 2025. It got mixed reviews but a massive success at the box office. I would personally give it a 6.5 out of 10. I honestly thought this would be a terrible movie watching the trailers because of the CGI and acting, but to my surprise I mostly enjoyed it. I got used to the CGI and there were many funny moments, especially from Jack Black and Jason Momoa. What I didn't like are these characters. I didn't care about them and their character arcs were very predictable. Anyway, what I want to talk about in this video is what the Minecraft movie could have done better. The people who made the movie knew what kind of movie they were making. Nothing is taken serious and it's fully leaned into comedy. But what if it focused more on the lore of the game? In a way, the Minecraft movie is accurate to the game. Steve, played by Jack Black, and the other main characters to an extent represent the players playing Minecraft. At least for me, how Steve acted in the early parts of the movie is pretty accurate to how I started playing the game for the first time, though I never got anywhere close to where Steve got in the movie. Making this video, I watched several lore videos about Minecraft, even though there is no official lore and everything could be wrong. I'm not an expert on this game, so don't take it seriously if I get something wrong. I will be comparing it with the movie, so spoiler warning. Let's start off with the main character, Steve. I also need to mention that I will mostly only talk about elements that appeared in the movie, with a few exceptions, and I won't be talking much about the spin-off games. So Steve in the movie is a regular dude who as a kid
yearned for the mines.
In the mine, he finds two relics that open up a portal to the overworld. There he does a lot of mining and crafting and also gets a pet. At some point he finds the nether portal and uses
Flint and steel
and encounters piglins who want the MacGuffin. Long story short, Steve meets the other humans, defeats the bad guy, saves the overworld, and returns back to his actual home. Steve in the game is very different. In many theories, Steve is said to be related to an ancient civilization that were able to build and use technology none of the residents of the overworld like the villagers and illagers can. The reason for this is that Steve and also Alex, who I will talk about later, are the only ones who can create such technology, and the fact that Steve and Alex don't have the distinct features of the villagers, that being the elongated nose. They actually look much more similar to the zombies, and Steve even wears the same clothes. Alex does appear in the movie, but only in the end credits. In the game, she might be even more mysterious than Steve, but aside from appearance, she is exactly the same. The other human characters in the movie are ordinary people like Steve, but are not in the game unless you count the skins in the game as individual characters that live in the overworld. Villagers and illagers. In the movie, both mobs act the way you would expect from the game. The villagers are kind and help out the main characters. The illagers live in the Woodland Mansion and are very aggressive. In the game, there are theories that say the villagers and illagers are also descendants like Steve, but some theories say that they are the original inhabitants of the overworld. Either way, they don't have the ability to build like Steve. Another theory about the illagers is that they were working together with the ancient builders. Zombies, skeletons, and creepers. In the movie, they don't explain how they came to be and act how you would expect. The theories about the zombies are that they are ancestors of Steve that created a virus that turned them into zombies, and by the time Steve was born, most of the residents became immune to the virus, only spawning zombie villagers occasionally. The other theories are that the illagers created the virus to study immortality, and that the virus came from
the nether.
But if most of the residents of the overworld are immune, why do they still spawn? Skeletons. I couldn't find much theories about the skeletons. The only reasonable one I found is that they were somehow created. I did find some interesting lore about wither skeletons, but they are not in the movie. Creeper. Like the skeletons, I couldn't find much and that they were also created. Enderman. It has a very small role in the movie. It does the same things in the game, teleporting and picking up blocks, but can show illusions when looking at them directly in the movie. Like the zombies, the theory of Endermen are that they are ancestors of Steve that traveled to the end and turned into Endermen. Piglins and Ghast. Two creatures that reside in
the nether.
The piglins are the main enemies of the movie, led by Małgosia. They love gold and turn into zombie piglins when exposed to the overworld without a potion. If you also count Minecraft Legends, they are pretty accurate to the games. Like many other mobs, the theory is that Steve's ancestor turned into the piglins or created them. Ghast are also quite accurate to the game, and their history is more concrete. They used to be an aquatic creature, but due to the heat in the Nether, they dried up and became more aggressive. Iron Golem and
Chicken Jockey!
I don't have much to say about them. They are not too different from the game, so I just wanted to mention them. Ender Dragon. It doesn't appear in the movie, which I was honestly surprised about. But the reason I'm mentioning it is because Steve has the Elytra, which can only be obtained after defeating the Ender Dragon. But I'm pretty sure Steve in the movie hasn't killed it because Warner Bros would definitely want to use it in the marketing of the sequel. There are 3 major locations in the movie: the real world, the overworld, and
The Nether.
in the movie they only show a small portion of the overworld, that being the village, forest, mountain, cave, mushroom field, and the woodland mansion. What isn't in the movie is the swamp, desert, ocean, jungle, ice plain, and others, all having their own lore and secrets. But the most interesting one in my opinion is the ancient city, which is believed to be constructed by ancient builders. But that will probably have to wait until a 3rd movie if there ever is one. The Nether. I'm not doing that joke anymore. Understandably, the Nether is shown only a small amount of time in the movie, so mobs like the Wither Skeletons and Blazes, which spawn in the Nether Fortress, which is also believed to be constructed by ancient builders, were not in the movie. The movie starts off with Steve in the real world, but there isn't a realm like that you can go in the game, so Steve could be living in a village in the overworld. He would be different from the other villagers, able to build things no one could even imagine. From here, similar things could happen. Steve finds the MacGuffin that doesn't open a portal to the real world. He gets a pet, Wolf, goes to the Nether, gets captured by the piglins, tells his pet to hide the MacGuffin, and then change perspective to the other characters. Obviously, the real world doesn't exist, so these 4 characters could be villagers who have the same character development. They find the MacGuffin, which leads to Steve being blackmailed to retrieve it. Steve doesn't go back to the Nether from here, so I think it would be interesting if Steve found the Nether Fortress, which would show him that there used to be people living here. Back to what actually happened. Steve meets the other characters, but the MacGuffin is broken, so they go to the village to gear up with things Steve made. The motivation for the other characters could be to save the world. The piglins suddenly attack the village along with Ghast. In the movie they fly away with elytras, but I think they should just run because of the reason I said about the Ender Dragon. They arrive at a mine because villager Jay needs money, so Steve gives him diamonds, but in this case emeralds will be more fitting. They head to the woodland mansion where the villagers live. They fix the MacGuffin and escape. The interesting thing they could have done here is to develop the relationship between the Illagers and Steve's ancestors by telling him the history of the ancient builders and why the Illagers hate them. After the woodland mansion, the piglins attack again and steal the MacGuffin. During the big battle, the piglins are defeated along with Malgosha. In the movie, she pretends that there is something important to say and tries to stab Steve. I think there are some interesting things she could have said, like mentioning the ancient builders and telling Steve how greedy they were and how they brought destruction. After the fight, the movie ends with a party. I know I haven't changed much, but I think this could have helped develop the world of Minecraft and could have made it more than just a meme film. Thank you for watching it this far in the video. If you liked it, please give a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in another video.